What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Weekly Dose of Dano TV, where it is the best show on the internet that you're going to find. And if you give me 1 hour of your time, I will prove it to you. And make sure that you're doing everything that you can to get your vibrations up. Like the page, share, tell a friend, do whatever you got to do because we're about to start the show. Vision, what do you have to say to everybody before we get started?
Well, first off, hey, everybody, how y'all doing? I'm going to stay positive, live healthy, and always believe in yourself.
That's what I'm talking about. And those are some of the things we're going to be talking about. But first, let's play through these commercials, man. Do what you got to do. Get settled in because it's time to start the show.
Hi, everyone. Jeanette Ramos here, CEO and President of It Takes a Village Housing. It Takes a Village Housing is a nonprofit organization that houses women who have been affected by drug and alcohol use while having their children live in transitional housing. Services to include drug treatment, mentoring, counseling for the kids, parenting. We set them up with employment. We help them get everything that they need to get them out into the community. Go to our website, ittakesavillage1.org, and donate. Donate whatever your heart desires, and let's change families one at a time.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Weekly Dose of Dano TV. Man, I'm super excited to be here with you guys. You already know that because there's nowhere else that I would rather be with my positivity posse. You already know because you're already dropping it before I even told you guys. And that's why week in and week out, I have the best positivity. Damn, I can't even speak because I got so much energy. That's why I have the best positivity posse in the world, man. You guys are absolutely amazing because you did it before I even told you to do it. And you already know what I'm talking about. And this is what I'm talking about. If you're watching this right now, if you're watching on the replay, it doesn't matter where you're watching from. Just drop a hashtag positivity posse on Facebook or YouTube. So I know you guys are rocking with the content so that you're raising your vibrations and making sure everything is going the way that we want it to, because we really can live the life that we want to live, and we can really shape our own reality in any way that we wanted to. I mean, if you know about the law of attraction, then you know what I'm talking about is facts. And this is what I said. You guys dropped the hashtag positivity posse before I even told you to do it because you already know what the drill is. We got some high vibrations, high spirits, and man, especially with Vision coming on today. If you didn't catch the first one, you need to go back and check it out because we talked about some great things about, relationships, and, we talked about meditation, and we talked about so many great things. So we're going to continue the conversation. It was so great that we had to bring Vision on. You're going to hear me flip-flop between Vaune and Vision. I'm sorry, man. I'm just going to let you know right now. I just know you as Vaune. You're my guy. So if it goes, you just got to go with it. So yeah, man, so many great things have been happening with the Weekly Dose of Dano TV platform, and with me as well. So many great things that I'm going to share with you guys right now. Didn't have a chance to. I've been absolutely jam-packed busy this week. Being productive, not just being busy, because I feel like when people say, "Oh, I'm busy," what are you busy doing? Are you busy thinking, or are you busy taking action? So I like to replace that word busy with productive. So I was super productive this week. Yeah, so all right, I'll share the good news with you guys since it is official. Next week, October the 14th, Vaune, listen up too, because I want you to be there. Next week, October the 14th, I'm going to be like the announcer, the MC, whatever you want to call it, for the Epic Wrestling Association's event on October the 14th at the Uncommon School in Camden. I think it's 1525 Mount Ephraim Avenue. So this event, like I said, is Epic Wrestling Association. So it's like basically WWE. And you know how when you hear, "Oh, he's jumping off the top of the ropes," and he goes, he does whatever, that is going to be me. So I still got a little bit of studying to do when it comes to the, the terminology of everything. But yes, I'm going to be hosting that. It's $10 for adults, and for kids and for the elderly, it is free. So please come out and support, man. We are putting on a show for you guys. And I'm going to be, like I said, the announcer, MC, whatever you want to call it. I'm just super honored and grateful and blessed. And actually, the person running that is Reggie. Reggie was on he was on the show a few weeks ago. So make sure you go check that one out, because that was an absolutely amazing episode, just like they all are. And it just happens in so many different ways, like, that we have all of these great topics. I mean, like with Vaune, we're going to be talking about, thought process and manipulation, and really all these other different topics that, because it's a free-flowing show, man. Anything that comes up, we talk about. So we're going to be talking about that. The show with Reggie, where we're just talking about wrestling and how it's great for the community, and just another chance to be able to do that and serve you guys and serve the community is what we're all about here on the Weekly Dose of Dano platform. Another thing as well is this weekend, there's so many things. I'll share two more things with you, and I know we got to do the affirmations for happiness. I know you guys are waiting on it, but hold on. Give me 2 more minutes, and we'll get to that, I promise. So another thing is this weekend, there's going to be a parade in Camden. You guys are blowing it up in the comments. Hold on. Let me address you guys first. Thank you, David. #Positivity Posse. Thank you for the congratulations. Dano the Mano, I love it. Being productive is being better than busy, 1000%. All right. So so on October 27th we're for the first time ever on the Weekly Dose of Dano platform, we're going to be doing our show from live in person at a brewery, which is Wim's Brewery. So we're going to be taking all of the technology, the equipment, and we're taking it out there to go to the community, like I said, and go interact with you guys in person as well as virtual if you can't make it. So many great things. That's another thing. Like I said, if you're watching this right now, please come out and support the Wim's Brewery. He's a good friend of mine. He started his own brewery, and just the reviews and everything that people have to say about it is absolutely amazing. So make sure you get ready for that too. Also, one more thing. Yes, live and in person. So you guys can feel the great energy. I know you can feel it through the TV already, but we're going to be doing it in person as well. And I have so many thoughts and ideas. If you have any recommendations, let me know. I want to do like, different contests or prizes, or, I'm in collaboration with them. So that stuff's in the works. But October 27th, remember that. One more quick thing too is I want to give my boy Vision, you know him too, Bobby. Happy birthday to you, Bobby. He tells me all the time, "Yo, I watch a show when I'm at the gym, when I'm on the treadmill, and I just need that boost of energy to say, damn, I really can't get through this." But no, you can get through it. So happy birthday to my guy Bobby as well. His birthday is literally today. So happy birthday to you. And one more thing that I can't think about as well. This weekend I'm going to be covering a live event in Camden. So I thought that was great for the Elks Lodge. So many great things. They're going to have a parade. All right. So many great things. I hope and I pray that you guys are going through the same things too. That you got. Oh, look, there you go. There you go, Bobby. Happy birthday to you. So I hope you guys are experiencing some great things as well, because I know for September 15th through the 25th, something was going on with like the stars, or like Mercury was in retrograde or something crazy like that. So that was a difficult time that even I had some like bumps in the road with manipulation. Funny enough, well, interesting enough. Let me not say funny. Interesting enough that we're going to be talking about that today. And yeah, so now everything has just been soaring, soaring, soaring. And I hope you guys are experiencing the same things. If you are, drop some great things that have been happening to you as well. A shout out to my brother as well, Lou. He just got a promotion at his job as well. And I'm super, super proud of you. Man, just thank you so much for everything that you've done for me. And I can only imagine all the things that you've done for your community as well that you just don't even share with me about. So big, big shout out to my brother as well, Lou. I love you, man. And keep doing what you're doing because you're taking this world by storm. All right. I know I've been doing a lot of talking, but I got to share with you guys, man. And please share with me as well. So now what we got to do is the affirmations for happiness. Y'all already know. Every time that I open up to a page in this book, it never ceases to amaze me. And I hope it doesn't cease to amaze you guys as well. Every time we open up to a page, this page always relates to what we're talking about for today. So here we go. The random page for today is not really random, but here we go. All right. Let's do number 190. Let's do this one. Yeah, let's do this one because there's two of them, and I think 190 is better for today. So here it is. I'm deciding. Oh wait, in deciding to be joyful, I demonstrate my commitment to be uplifting. I'm gonna read that again. In deciding to be joyful, I demonstrate my commitment to be uplifting. So here's the excerpt. Knowing I'm meant to bring joy to everyone increases its presence within me. Being and spreading joy is my purpose, and I accept the challenge with delight and honor. I'm willing to give up whatever pettiness and negativity that stands in my way. I absolutely love that one because for two reasons. Number one, it says I'm willing at the last sentence. I'm willing to give up whatever pettiness and negativity stands in my way. And that's having that self-awareness and having your ego in check to say, well, listen, I can take this route. Or you could say, hey, I could do an eye for an eye if somebody has wronged you. But really, we know that two wrongs don't make a right. And when you try to even out the odds, it just doesn't even out. I stole that line from Big Sean, but it's a great line to really say, no matter what people do to you, please always, unless it's a positive thing, just always respond with the opposite equal, energy. If somebody's coming at you with like a lot of hate, just shower them with love. And I'm telling you guys, it will work out in your favor. So, just put your ego to the side and put the negativity and pettiness to the side. I know it may be hard. I'm not saying it's easy, but at least just be mindful and conscious of that. And number two, the thing I like about this one is I accept the challenge with honor and delight. And a lot of people say to me all the time, oh, I need your positive burst of energy and this and that. But, it's not always easy. Like there's days where I'm not going to have the greatest day in the world every day. But as long as you're making the conscious effort to look at the lessons and the blessings that are coming into your life, it will start to shape how things manifest into your life. Like, if you're showering yourself with love and respect, then everybody else in turn, no matter who they are, has to show you that same love and respect. Because number one, everything that manifests in our outside world is a reflection of our inside world. And then number two, if you're vibrating at that energy, people are going to reciprocate that same energy towards you. And then two, you're setting the intention for the reality to manifest that way. There's so many different things, and I can go on forever about it. And I know you guys are excited for Vision to come on the show because, man, he's about to drop some golden nuggets for you guys. So have your pens, have your paper ready. You guys are just absolutely amazing. Like, I'm going to keep on saying that because it is the God's honest truth. And thank you so much again for being here and supporting the Weekly Dose of Dano platform. But now it's time to get into the good stuff, because I know all the stuff that I said was good stuff, but now it's going to get even better because we got to bring Vision onto the show. He's doing a little shimmy right here, doing his dance. I love it. He's charging up for you guys. Please, like I said, drop some positive words of encouragement for the next person. Please welcome on Vaune, because we're about to drop some golden nuggets for you guys. Drop some fire emojis. Just, hey, welcome to the show. Whatever you got to do, just please raise your vibrations. And Vaune, it's time to come on the show. Let's get it, man. Vaune Vision, same thing. How's it going, brother?
Man, everything's great as usual. Positive mindset conquers all.
1000%, man. I love that. And I wish more people could, understand that it may seem like it's so simple, but it really is the baseline to really experiencing the life that we want to live, whether it's opportunities, whether it's meeting the right person, it could be your soulmate, whether it's experiences, turning something negative into a positive, no matter what it can be. That is the baseline for how we should live our lives. And it's not being optimistic either. I want to put that to the side real quick, because anybody can just say, oh, well, I'm going to have a great day. But if you're going around gossiping about other people, if you're saying, damn, why is this happening to me? If you're having such a negative outlook, of course, optimism is not what it is. It goes beyond that. So, Vaune, talk about some of the things that you do on a day to day just to say, hey, I'm going to set the intention to have a great day and not just be optimistic.
Well, first and foremost, when you get up and you look at yourself in the mirror, you take care of what you need to take care of during the day. You always look at yourself like, what can I do today to shed a positive light, whether it be on the world, on a person, or whatever. Anything that I could shed a positive light on for the day is going to be a win for me. So that's basically what I think of every time I wake up. And how can I impact somebody else today in their life towards though they have a better day after they come in contact with me.
Yep, 100%. And I love that you think that way. And he's not talking crazy. He's not talking cap or nothing like that. I'm going to show you guys, or I'm going to share a story with you guys. Recently, this was maybe about sometime last month. Vaune, we're talking, and he said, "Yo, come out. I'm actually at this bar. Just come out and let's share a beer and talk in person." I said, "All right." I wasn't really doing much that night anyway, so I said, "All right, let's go do it." So I meet up with Vaune at the bar. He's there. It's a slow night. I think it was like raining on a Tuesday. So we go. We're shedding, sharing our happiness and helping spread that positive energy. And there was this lady that comes up to us, and while we're talking, we start talking about different things, but we're just talking. And there's this guy that comes up to him, and you could tell the guy is maybe like not really right in the head. And I don't like to say that in a judgmental type of way, but Vaune, I mean, you can say the guy there was something off about him.
Yes.
And once the fourth guy came in, the lady started to treat him a certain way, like, oh, just get out of here, like really like nobody wants to talk to you, like you're ruining the vibes and all this other stuff. And the guy gets, he goes away. He comes out later eventually, but he goes away. And Vaune, when you corrected that woman, I don't really think you understand, like, the character that you were demonstrating was absolutely incredible. Why is it so important that when you see something happening that isn't right, like even though the guy wasn't right, you were still treating him with respect? I was, and this lady wasn't, and you made it a point to maybe correct her or see it from a different perspective.
Yeah.
Why was that important for you to do that, and what inspired you to do that?
I mean, because it's important because, like, through life experiences and the stuff that you deal with in life, when you have that reflection time, you always, if you really have that time to reflect and you sit down and you think about what happened, what was your reaction and stuff like that, and situations that you've been through and that you've seen other people go through, when you had that reflection time, it kind of lets you, it kind of resonates in your brain that, oh, I should have did it this way, or I should have looked at it this way. So when when somebody's not in their right mind in a I want to say in a stressful situation, you always have to say it to them, not in an aggressive way, to make them further be, in that aggressive state. You want to say it to them to where as though it resonates, so that way they start to think about it. And then when they think about it and it goes through their brain and it cycles, it starts to make sense. And then now they change their perspective on how they treat different people or people that they may look down upon or what have you.
Yeah, and I think we really did that, and not in a mean way, because the lady, when we presented this new information and this new perspective to the lady, she actually started to cry and say, "Wow, I never really thought about it that way," and thank you guys for helping me understand. And we did our part as well. Like, if we see better, we know a better way, our job is to help people see that same way as well and spread the love. And I feel like a lot of people nowadays, they just they'll learn the lesson in whatever it is that they're going through, and they just won't pass it forward to the next person. Can you talk about that and why that's so important? I mean, like I said, I saw it, you demonstrated it, and that's why I'm bringing this situation up, because it's based on facts and everything that we experience. So why was that so important for you to not only in that case, but in all cases, help pay it forward and help people show them a different perspective.
Okay, well, first of all, when it comes to people, period, a lot of people don't deal well with rejection, or they
Hmm.
don't like when people view them in a certain type of light or whatever.
Hmm.
So it kind of hinders their thought process at times. But when you thirsty.
No worries, no worries. Take your time. I'm telling you, we're dropping some fire right now. And if you guys have any questions, just drop them in the comments as well.
Yeah, I definitely want to give a shout out to Jeanette. I wanted to do that too. You always in here. I see you always commenting, doing what you do. Everybody do happy birthday, Bobby, if you can. Anybody that's watching. But back to the task at hand. But it's important because a lot of people, since they're scared of rejection,
Hmm.
like they don't want to pass on what they learned from different situations because they're afraid of how these people that they may feel a certain type of way about view them.
Hmm.
Like, let's say, like if you're a person on the internet, that's like famous, you're not going to do certain things because you don't want your audience to view you a certain type of way,
Hmm.
because that's your audience.
Hmm.
So if it's somebody that you view highly, you want them to view you a certain type of way. So it's like, if you feel like if you say something about that or something in that situation towards them, they might view you differently, and that's what you're worried about. So that's what causes a lot of times people not passing it on. And it's important to pass it on, because no matter if somebody doesn't think the way you think or believe in what you believe in, it's always an opportunity for them to have a different thought process, even though they may not 100% understand or believe in what you're saying. Just
Hmm.
them hearing it causes them to look at things and see things differently, and then in turn, after a while, they'll pass it on to somebody else without even actually knowing it. It'll just become a natural thing.
Yeah, of course. And it's what you said. They might not even know. It might be a subconscious thing because you threw it into their brain and they might not be conscious of it. But it
Mhm.
may not even happen the day after or the third time that they try to
Takes time.
experience the same
Takes time
situation.
sometimes.
But as long as eventually, as you're spreading and you're doing the best that you can, what are you doing? You're emitting that great positive energy. So even if you might not see it right now, it will come back to you and it will manifest in a way that you, like I said, it can be good health. It can be an opportunity. It can just be meeting the right person. It could be so many different things. It could be paying for your light bill. It can be having the money to put the gas in your car. Not everything is monetary, but it could
Mhm.
just be the safety that you're like, okay, that peace of mind. It can come in so many different ways, but as long as you're making that intention to do it, it's really really important to spread that as well. And I love the way that, like I said, I thought you handled that perfectly and beautifully. And I know that for the next time we impacted her life, that it will manifest in a great way for us too. Now, when we talk about rejection, right? I don't. I think that's a word that's kind of used over and over again, but it doesn't really mean anything. And let me explain that.
Mhm.
So, rejection, I don't think is something that really happens to us. I think we make it up in our mind. So, let's say we're going out into the world, right? And for a popular example, let's say we're at the club, right? And we see a woman that or a man that whatever you believe. In. For me, for a woman I want to talk to, right? I'm like, damn, spitting some game, and she just says that she's not feeling it or whatever, and
Mhm.
then when you go back to your boys, they're like, "Oh, you got rejected." No, I don't think there's no such thing as rejection. Number one, there was a lesson in there that there's something that you could have done better. And then number two, it doesn't really mean that you got rejected. I just think that it happened for a reason as well.
Mhm.
If something happens in your way, like let's say rejection just doesn't have to be with relationships. It could be like a job opportunity. You didn't get rejected. No, I think you just need to tweak your strategy a little bit. And Vision, I know that you really don't fear rejection because you are who you are no matter what. Where did you develop that confidence, and how can other people develop that confidence too?
Ah, man, how did I develop it? I can say, like, it manifested itself over time of me building positive days on top of positive days, because it's like, no matter what I've been through in my life, the struggles that I had to deal with, it never was too much. And then I always view other situations like you'll see on TV where you'll have these starving children, you'll go on vacation and you'll see these people that are homeless, that are on the streets asking for change, this, that, the third. And you're worrying about, oh, it may be one day or 2 days out the week where I don't have an opportunity to eat. But these people, it's a challenge for them to eat every single day. They don't have nowhere to live. They're trying to find somewhere for shelter every single day. So when you start building positivity, you in your brain, you start to view certain things differently. Like you start to get a different mindset. And like with the whole manipulation process, you manipulate other people as well as you manipulate your mind to think the way that you want it to think.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to think positively, and then once you think positively, everything else manifests out of that positivity that you basically putting in your brain.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that, man. And it's just, I think a lot of people they've been living in their way so long that when it comes to unlearning all of the old processes that they've been downloaded into their brain, eliminating that, eradicating that, and then downloading that new software, so to speak, into our
Yeah.
brains. That's
Right.
that's a big piece that a lot of people I don't think are willing to do. So let's say for you, for an example, right? When you were saying that you've had some hard days, and I think even like I'm gonna get a little bit personal here, but you were saying that the way that you were brought up, all the signs pointed to you to
Yeah.
say you should end up in a system or you should end up dead or in jail or anything like that.
Mhm.
Um, so like how did you use that as fuel, right? So let's talk about that. Because you had all of these systems and ways of thinking downloaded into you, but
Mhm.
you always knew that you never accepted that, whether it was your own mother or friends or family or other people that try to download it onto you. Can you talk about having the strength in order to reject these like ways of thinking to make sure that like what's best for yourself?
Okay, now this is another story, right? Now, at first, it was like we were saying about the people in their subconscious and they don't understand or think things consciously. They have no idea what they're actually saying or doing or whatever. They just doing it unconsciously. Well, I was like a protector of my mother when I was younger. Like anything anybody said or anything about her was like, oh, that's my mom, this, that, the third, whatever. I will always protect her. But
Mhm,
as I got older and I started to see certain things, I started to pick stuff out like, why is she doing this? Or why is she doing that? Or why is my father not around? Why is this? And then I would have certain conversations with her with my mother that would have me like scratching my head.
mhm,
And I was like, I started to like build up, like it was like build up anger inside of me for years until
mhm,
I got into the fifth grade. When I got to the fifth grade, I was constantly in altercations, fighting every day over like silly things. Like we'll play football and somebody will catch a pass and I'll punch them because they caught the ball. Like it was just a whole bunch of built up anger inside of me. But
mhm,
one of my best friends that I lived with, I was with him all the time. Like his mother didn't allow nobody else in her house but me. I was the only person that was allowed in her house because I was different than all the other kids. But
mhm,
it was so much built up anger inside of me in the fifth grade is when everything like kind of sprouted. And like one day, something happened between me and him. I can't exactly remember what happened, but I said something to him that I shouldn't have said to him, but I wasn't thinking. I was just reacting the way that I normally would react to anybody else. And he didn't do anything like crazy, but it was just, and then once every because we had lunch and we didn't have a lunch aid for whatever reason that day. I guess she called off or whatever. So
mhm,
it was just us in there by ourselves. And then I embarrassed him in front of everybody.
mhm,
So me embarrassing him in front of everybody and everybody, the oohs and the ahs and you gonna let him talk to you like that? You gonna let him say that? Da, da,
mhm,
da. It made him react. So like, and he's not even the type of guy to be this extra physical guy, this at the third. But like I said, he was like my best friend, like coming up. Like we ran track together, we always chilled together, we always did all the stuff together. And once he reacted towards me, and I could see that reflection of myself through him, that's when I started to change my mindset.
mhm,
That was when everything started. It started there, and then I was like, me and my mother's relationship was like really strained at that point. But my sister was always there, and my sister was kind of like my mom, so that's how I view her, as my mom. And my sister was always positive. She was never negative. She wasn't getting into trouble. She was like going to school, going to work. Like she was just like a regular person. Like she never had no issues. She might have been a few people that didn't like her, but she didn't never like egg it on or nothing like that. She wasn't one of those type of people. So I got the energy that I have now. It basically stems from my sister. The energy that she gave to me is what I harnessed, and then I started using later on in life. Because I would say I didn't really get to this point that I am now until I was about 24. When I turned 24 is when my first thought process, what changed everything, was I need to stop worrying about things that I can't control myself. If I can't control it myself without it naturally happening, because you can control things yourself, like by force and manipulation and stuff like that. But if I can't control it naturally, then it's not my fight. Something that I can't worry about. Like if it's going to happen, it may affect me, but the effect of that happening may be something positive later, or something that I could take from it, something that I could learn from it in order for me to grow later and be the person that I am today.
Yeah, like I said, there's a lot of mental fortitude that comes with that story, and being able to say, "Wow," just the fact that you recognize that, just having the awareness that, when you were talking about the story about your friend, how you saw your actions manifest through him. I think that's a lot of thing that you saw it as a fifth grader, but I feel like nowadays it's hard. They don't even see that with the things that are going on directly affecting them. Like, let's just say I was having a conversation with this guy, and he was just saying how
too much of this,
too much of that.
That's what it is.
So let's talk about that. What do you mean by too much of this? Too much of just the literal phone, or what goes on beyond the phone?
What goes on in the phone? A lot of these children nowadays, like me growing up, I didn't have a phone until I was able to afford a phone on my own. So I didn't have a phone. Like these kids now, they in kindergarten with telephones. To me, that's crazy. And then they have TikToks, they have Instagrams, they watching all these different type of networks, and some of these networks they throwing little jabs in there, stuff that these kids shouldn't be seeing. And it's like us as adults, we not really catching it because we thinking it's just a child show. Like it's just a child show, and they seeing certain things, but they working on the kid's subconscious so that the child doesn't know what's actually going on, but they working on subconscious. So now they seeing all this drama within the household with their parents, watching all this Desperate Housewives and these girls in Miami and Jersey Shore and all this drama.
Yeah.
And it's all that stuff is trickling down to them, to where as though they seeing it their whole life, drama manifesting their whole life, because that's all they see is drama. So when they get older, they don't view things in a positive light. They look at everything like, oh, it's building up the drama because that's what they grew up in. It's kind of like you plant a seed and some toxins. The plant is going to come up toxic. It's not going to be a regular plant.
Yeah, and I'm not even gonna limit that just to kids, because that's everything that we watch nowadays. Like, I have seen all of the seasons for the show You, right? Let's just use that for an example. I don't know if you've ever seen the show, but everything that's in that show is toxic, manipulation, stalking, all of these negative things. And that's why I think it's ultra important to monitor what we watch and how we watch it. Like even popular video games, or like the movies with the Marvel, right? All of this stuff was I know it's about superheroes and about good and bad, and that story's been around for as long as time has been. But you got to look at it. What are they doing? They're fighting. They're altercating, and they're trying to. A lot of this stuff, that there's a lot of drama involved in it. The way that they're dressing. I think all of this stuff is not only limited to kids, but to ourselves. But it's very important to be conscious of everything that you're watching. And I can I can suggest a solution to you, because it's what I've done for myself. So if you're watching a piece of positive content on social media, I'll give you a little hack. Like it, comment on it, share it. If you just need to watch that 3 and 4 times over and over, the way that these social media platforms are designed is to give you more of that. So if you're watching positive content, make sure you're interacting with it as well, because you're just going to receive more of that. And
Yeah.
you could also make the claim that that's just like what life is, right? If
Yeah.
you focus more on the positive, you get more of it back. But
Yeah.
be conscious of what you're wearing, and I mean what you're watching. I guess what you're wearing too, right? But be
Yeah.
conscious of what you're watching and what you're consuming, because consuming doesn't mean eating. It can be consuming content. It could be the energy that you're consuming around you. So, Vision, what do you do to try to combat that?
To try to combat
The
what?
Well, to combat like the addictiveness of social media and to combat like all the negative energy that might be thrown your way.
Oh, the thing about social media and TV is no matter I've developed the trait to where as though it doesn't matter what I'm watching, I can always separate myself from that situation. So it's like I can once you're able to look at something and process it and understand what's going on with whether you're watching a movie or if you're online watching videos or whatever, you have to be able to separate yourself from that because just like even with music, like it's certain articles of music that's really inappropriate to like listen to out loud. Like it's a lot of inappropriate vulgar language. And it's
Yeah.
they may say some stuff in there that might get you energized or whatever. And they might say something that gets you energized, but they preach something negative. So it's like you gotta kind of set like I may like the song, but it's like I'm not I'm going to separate myself from that situation because I know that's not me. That's because some people will listen to that and then they'll want to do exactly what they're seeing and what they're hearing on the video. And it's like me, I like the song, got a nice rhythm, because we move according to sound and vibe and stuff like that. So
Mhm.
if it catches us, then we'll roll with it. We'll ride the wave. But you got to be able to separate yourself from what you're watching as a person so you won't become what you're
I agree with that 100%. Music, media, those are. I mean, I listen to probably more music than anybody. Like I was listening to or you know how Spotify does the Unwrapped every year.
Mhm.
Last year when they did like the wrapped up or like gave you all the analytics, I was in like the top 3%. Um, I was in like the top 3% for all listeners throughout the app. So like
Uh,
all of that stuff does play an effect into what I'm doing now. And now I've tried to substitute that music for podcasts or substitute that music for positive videos online on YouTube.
yeah.
Vaughn, what we're gonna do actually is we're gonna take a little bit of a break.
Uh-huh.
Take. I know I told you to put the jacket on earlier because the sun was bright, but now
Yeah.
we're having a little bit of trouble seeing you. So
Yeah. It's
while
them.
you go
Yeah.
take care of that, we're just gonna play a quick commercial and don't go anywhere. Make sure you're sharing this content because that you never know who might need it. And like I said, you're just
True.
helping me out. You're helping yourself out. So thank you so much for everybody for being here, and we'll be right back. So everybody, that was just a quick commercial from our sponsors. I just want to give a quick shout out to the sponsors. Thank you so much for sponsoring the Weekly Dose of Dano platform. If you are interested and wanted to see like some different packages or different ways that I can help you out with your brand, send me an email here at doseofdano@gmail.com. And for everybody that's watching, if you're watching on your TV and you're really not on Facebook or anything like that, hey, you can follow me here on Instagram. I was going to say IG. You know what I meant. Instagram and TikTok at Dose of Dano as well, just to keep the conversation going, just to see what's going on so we can keep the flow going, the positive energy going. And yeah, it's just absolutely amazing for you guys to be here right now. And Vaughn, there we go, man. We got it all fixed. There we go. We want to see your bright smile, man. That's what we got to see. All right.
Yeah, it's
So
here.
now we've been talking a lot about thought process, right?
Mhm.
And what we can do in order to protect our energy to make sure that the things that we are experiencing in this world are the things that we want to experience. Where does a thought process begin, or like what's some of the things that we should be conscious of in the very beginning?
The crazy thing about it is the thought process first is always kind of always negative, because you want to look at it like, if I do it in this light, then this is what could come out of it.
Mm-hmm.
So you would think about a negative first, because you're going through the outcomes of what could be the consequences of doing that, what you're thinking. But
Mm-hmm.
then afterwards you're like, well, I'm not going to do that because of that. And then you navigate through it. You navigate through what you're going to do after that, just trying everything you can do to be positive and not be like aggressive, I should
Mm-hmm.
say.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that. And I think a lot of people don't think about the actions or the consequences that might happen for their actions. And I think that should be brought to the forefront of how
Mhm.
we think about certain decisions. Because I was having this conversation, can't remember who it was, but it was a gentleman that I just met. And he was telling me how, he knows people that have been locked up. And a lot of these people, they have time to think about what they've done during their actions. And he says that's what you really have time to do when you're in the system. You just sit
Yeah,
down, you
most of
think
the
about
time.
everything that you've done. And
Mhm.
9 times out of 10, or even 9.9 times out of 10, they're like, man, I can't believe that I let a 5-second decision take so many years away from my life and missing out opportunities with their kids, or different things like that. And I think that needs to be at the forefront of everybody's mind, is what if I take this action, what will happen? And
Mhm.
I kind of to what you just said recently, like literally last week. No, this week. This week I was going through a situation where I was like, I was thinking about certain things, right? And all right, so all right, I was thinking about certain things, and the way that I was feeling while I was thinking about the things that I was thinking about was not a great feeling. It was a negative feeling. So
Mhm.
I was like, something just doesn't feel right with the way that I'm looking at this situation. So what I did, I phoned a friend. I said, yo, listen, like, I'm gonna throw out some information to you. And this is how I'm thinking about it. Am I thinking about it incorrectly? And my friend had to talk some sense into me. He said,
Mhm.
"Yo, you're thinking about it the wrong way. Just be easy, be going, just be in flow.
Mhm.
I think you're looking at it from a wrong light." And I felt that way. And I called him and I was like, you know what? I agree with you. I didn't feel comfortable with the thoughts that I was thinking. I
Mhm.
just thought it was in a negative light. Can you talk about having that? I guess you can call it awareness, or having the humility just to say, like I don't think I'm thinking about this in the right way. Like, has that ever happened to you? And what do you do if you feel like you're not thinking about something the right way?
Yeah, of course, and it kind of goes back to the relationships you have with people, because sometimes you have relationships with people and you view them a certain type of way, which I view as expectations. Like when expectations come, you view people a certain type of way and you have different reactions for them because you have the expectation.
Mm-hmm.
But when you don't have the expectation, it's easier for you to deal with. But when you have the expectation and they do something you don't like for some reason, the people that we love, the people that we love the most and the people that we like the most, and we give them that respect, and they do something to us to deter that, it kind of instantly makes us upset. So
Mm-hmm.
whereas though if it was some random person and they did it, you'd be like, oh, I don't know them, whatever. Like it's cool. But when it's somebody that you love and you have the expectation that they won't do that to you, that they shouldn't do that to you, you don't believe that they would do it, and then they actually do it, it
Mm-hmm.
kind of throws your brain for a loop, and
Mm-hmm.
then you start to want to react a certain type of way, but then you always got to reel yourself in. Like all you got to do is just not speak to that person or let that person know how you feeling. Just don't come off as aggressive. Just let them know how you feeling. If they don't like it, that means y'all don't mesh, and then this relationship shouldn't go on any longer. Or that person doesn't understand how you feel, and y'all need space in order for y'all to understand each other, because that reflection time is what's important.
1000%. You're hitting them nails right on the head. There was actually, when I told you that 10-day window of September 15th through the 25th, if somebody was having like a rough time during that time, like I told you, there was something going on energetically, and things have been resurfacing. So there was a girl that I talked to last year who wanted to re-enter back into my life, and some of the things, like the way that I was feeling was like, damn, I didn't really want them to come back into my life. And when you talk about manipulation in these relationships, like the way that I was feeling and some of the things they were saying, I didn't resonate with me. So I was like, you know what, we're just gonna end this right away. But when you talk about that, I want to list. I wrote down some things, since we are talking about manipulation, that some different things or signs that you should look out for to make sure that these people aren't doing it to you. So here's just a quick list. So number one, always talking about themselves. Be aware of the people that you're talking to. If everything's really about them, and you try to bring something up, but they kind of dismiss it, or you have a problem that you have, and they kind of just give you like a half-ass, recommendation or solution. Be mindful of that. If they're always talking, and then especially after you bring it up, and then they dismiss it, and then they continue to talk about themselves. That's one sign to look out for. Another sign is not feeling heard. If you're talking to somebody and having a friendship or whatever it may be, and you just don't feel like your voice is being heard, be mindful of these people that you're hanging out with as well, because it might not be the relationship that you think it might be. And
They're not attentive.
yeah, and you got to make sure too that it's not always going to be about you, obviously, but make sure there's that fine line. Number three would be using insecurities against you. Like, let's say you're talking.
That's major.
That's a major, right? Because an example I can think of right now is, let's say if there's a guy trying to get a girl, and they constantly are telling the girl, damn, you really, you sure you wouldn't wear that shirt, or damn, you look kind of different today. Like, they're using their insecurities against you. So if the relationship is kind of starting off like that, be mindful of that as well, because it might not lead to anything better. And that's another thing. So there's two more. Number four is moving the goalposts. If you think that you're getting somewhere and you guys make an agreement, and then they move the goalposts even further to make them try to manipulate you into doing what they want to do, I'll be mindful of that. And the last one would be violating boundaries. That's a huge one right there. And we can go on and on. But Vaune, can you talk about how you set these boundaries with these people to make sure that you're not being taken advantage of?
Well, when you set your parameters with the people that you're dealing with, when you set the parameters of the stuff that you don't deal with, well, first of all, when it comes to dealing with people, right? Like, everybody, you have to compartmentalize your people and put them in certain sections, because everybody's not in the same sector. Like, you might have people that you go out with, you might have people you go on vacation with, and you might people that you just have fun with them or whatever, and you see them from time to time or whatever.
Sorry, I just wanted to emphasize that point by sending that, like compartmentalizing everybody.
Yeah, because like everybody is not meant for every situation, and when you try to put the wrong people in different situations, it causes turmoil, it causes chaos, not only between you and that person, but you and whoever else was in that circle that was wondering why you brung that person into that circle. So it's like, you got to kind of let people know what's their place in your life. It might sound negative, but it's like, if I'm letting you know what's going on with me and you and how our relationship is, then there should be no issues. If there's an issue, that means you want to be in a place that you don't belong in my eyes, which you may not agree with or you may not like, but that's a choice or decision that I've made for our relationship. It's not that I don't like you or I don't want to be around you or something like that. It's just certain things I can't involve you in.
Yes.
Yeah. And like in relationships, when you let the female or the male that you're talking to, oh, I like this, I like this, I like this, I don't like this, I don't like this, I don't like this. You say all that stuff, but then you say the main things that you don't want, you don't like, you have to present them immediately. Like, because certain things you don't like, you can deal with. It's not going to be this big thing. Like, it's something small you can deal with. Even though the stuff that you may not like may be something small to some people, but to you, it's something major. So the things that's major to you, you have to present them. And if those people don't respect the fact that that's what you presented to them and they still want to do it anyway, then they're trying to manipulate you.
Yeah. And
They trying to manipulate you and mold you into a person that you are not.
1000%, man. Let me give you another one of these because you're dropping them facts right now. But I think a lot of people start to get caught in the smoke and mirrors. Like they see the type of person that they think they can mold you to. So they try to take you from where you are to, like, like shape the clay or however you want to
Right.
phrase it.
They're trying to
And then
mold
yeah, and you just got to make sure that you're standing your ground as well to make
you.
sure that nobody's being, taking advantage of you as well.
So,
Now, Vaughn, we only have a few minutes left because we got to end. Well, we only have a few minutes left.
yeah.
9:56 because on E360 that's when everything cuts out.
Oh,
So here you go. Speaking facts right here. Can you share with us? And this is going to be kind of a loaded question, but you have the floor. What has been one of the biggest lessons recently that you've learned that you want to let other people know that they may be going through the same thing you might have gone through?
well, like based off of what we were speaking on earlier, just know your surroundings, know who you're dealing with, know what sector you have certain people in, and the people that you hold to a higher regard, make sure you hold them that way and let them know that they're held to that standard, and everything else will kind of like flow smoothly with that. And like just be mindful of everything and anything that you're around, anyone you're around, anywhere you go. Just be mindful of your surroundings. If something feels off, then like something in your intuition is telling you that something's off, so you need to listen to that and believe that, because a lot of the times we don't listen to ourselves, and stuff like that happens. So I'm gonna give y'all a story about when I was in Texas. We went out when I was in Texas. Like, I have a friend and a cousin that lives in Texas, and we all went out. And it was a lot of stuff going on when we was outside, because when everybody let out, everybody walks around, talks, try to find this girl try to talk to this guy. It's a whole bunch of that going on. So one of the people that I was with, one of their people, like I said, one of the people you bring into the circle, they kind of mess the circle up.
Yeah.
He came in talking crazy, disrespecting people, doing all this extra stuff. And like everybody, because everybody in Texas is licensed to carry, so they walk around with big stuff. Like, they don't have nothing small. They walk around with skateboards, if you know what I mean. They walk around with stuff. So you got to be careful. I'm out there. I don't have anything. I don't have a screwdriver in my pocket. Nothing. So this one guy walks past with a knife, but he was with the guy that the person that was with me was arguing with. When I seen him with the knife, I stopped him. I said, "Bro, you have a knife. All these people here have guns. I don't know what's on your mind. I don't know what's going on, but you need to rethink what you're about to do, because it's going to get real ugly out here. So just do the right thing and keep it moving." Mind you, he was inebriated. He was gone. Like, he was out of it. But just me talking to him and telling him, just calmly telling him, like, "Bro, just don't, like, we don't need this to escalate more than it is. They having words. It's cool. Like, long as they don't get in each other's face and nobody start doing nothing extra, there's no need for you to, and you have a knife, bro. This is not a situation where you should have a knife, because somebody's going to react. If the wrong person would have seen you with that knife, they're going to shoot you immediately. So put that away and keep going with your business." So and nothing happened. So
And
it was going to go left.
yeah. Well, I got to touch on that too, man. And I know we only have like a minute left. Whatever you're going through right now, you don't get a prize for smoking somebody or taking the action to harm them. I don't know what you guys think is going on out here. You don't get a trophy. Nobody pats you on the back for doing the things that you're gonna do. So it's not a game. Like, all this stuff that you think that you're taking one action and you're getting even with somebody. You're not doing that at all. You're only digging a deeper hole for yourself. So I think that needs to go. That is going to be a topic that takes an hour. I mean, it takes years for people to change that. But now, since we're bringing this information to you, please be conscious of the decisions that you are making, because everything does have a consequence. So if you're taking those positive actions, you're going to have a positive outcome. And that's what we want to do in this world as well. Vaune, if somebody wants to reach out to you, where can they go to find more about you, or if they want to talk to you, where can they go?
Well, I have TikTok, VizViral28. I have Facebook. It's Real Island is one word, and then space Viz. And then on Instagram, it's RI_Viz.
There you go. So thank you, Vaune, for coming on today for part 2, dropping them facts, dropping them golden nuggets. I really appreciate your time. Everybody, Positivity Posse appreciates you as well. This has been an absolutely amazing episode. Share it, like it. I don't know. Just share it to anybody that you might know. Please just spread that positive energy, because we support this. We appreciate the support here on the Weekly Dose of Dano platform as much as we appreciate you guys. I hope you have a great weekend. Please think before you do something stupid. This will be the last thing. Think before you do something stupid. That would be the difference between life and death, in jail or freedom. And you can't put a price on freedom. Please do the right thing. Be conscious of your actions. I hope you guys have a great weekend. I'll see you next week for another episode of Weekly Dose of Dano, where we have a super special guest. I can't give you guys the sauce before you just got to come on next week, and you got to experience the great things that we have planned for next week. So I hope you guys have a great weekend, and I'll see you next week for another episode of Weekly Dose of Dano. Everybody, peace.